Hello, everybody. This is the weekly video for September 12th through 16th. And we have a lot of information this week because we have our first grading period closing. Your students just turned in a big assignment and we finally got Chromebooks. And we're starting a new unit. So, a lot to cover. I'll go really quickly. So, first of all, your students just turned in their narrative extended response or their personal narratives. And I've already started reading some of them, and they're awesome. I'm really enjoying getting to know your students a little bit better. They also had a little side activity that was called the publication, where basically they had to draw me some pictures related to the narrative or write 2 poems. Most kids did that, but some kids didn't. Get on your kids to get that done because it's a pretty easy assignment and it is a mastery assignment, which is sort of like a quiz assignment. Grading, since that came up, I do allow late work, as I've stated several times. In this class, I allow late work for up to 10 days without penalty. However, if that backs up to a grading window, that can have an impact, right? And I can't control grading windows. So right now, grades close today, Friday the 9th, which is the day you're seeing this video. And so if your student didn't get their narrative into me, it may not get graded before the teacher sends out the grades next week. And that's just, but know that because it's a progress report, I can still grade it and it will show up on their grade. It just may not show up on the one that actually gets sent to you. Now in October and December, when it's actually a report card, I cannot go back and grade things late. So, just as a good habit for your students to get into, that if something's being turned in, well, to turn in everything on time, but if something's being turned in near a grading window, get it in on time. Remember that no matter when it's turned in, if it's turned in late, your students are going to fill out a missing homework slip, which is just this little thing. It's actually a message slip. And it's really a message to you. They're going to write their name, put what they missed, when it was due. Now that we have Chromebooks, they're going to put whether it was on paper or on computer, which just kind of helps you find resources. And they're just going to write why they missed it. It does not have to be elaborate, and I'm not being judgy. I don't even read them, honestly, because what they do is they tear this out and they take it home for you to sign, and then they bring it back. And the reason I do that is because I want to be able to communicate with parents. Because you want to be involved, but you're not in the room. And so you don't know every single little thing that's happening in class. So this way you see one of these, you sign it, and all you're saying is, yes, I've seen it. Your student can still turn the work in late. After 3 of those that don't get signed, I call. So, and that is a way of keeping you in the loop if that's happening. Okay, let's see. Reminders that your student needs to have a book with them at all times in class, and preferably one that they're reading also at home. And, I'd love it if they're also enjoying it and it's for pleasure. I do have books in the classroom, but it does not do your student any good if they pick up a book, read it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then put it back. And then the next day they don't have a book again, and they pick up a different book and read that for 5 minutes. I want them to have a book that they are reading with them. We are going to the library today, the 9th. For the second time this year already, and so they have no reason not to have a book. But it doesn't have to be a school library book. It can be a book from home. It can be a public library book, but they have to have a book. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks. So we're starting our short story unit. And so because of that, so on Monday, your students are going to start reading their first, really Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're going to be reading the first short story of the unit, going over the literary analysis, which are like the notes, like plot, conflict, antagonist, rising action, types of characters, that kind of thing. And then they'll be doing that all 3 days and working on their extended response graphic organizer. These graphic organizers are something I've created that really help students produce amazing writing. So we go through it pretty thoroughly. On Thursday, they're going to do an activity where they get to identify elements of literary analysis in their stories. It'll be really fun, I think. And then we'll review the rubric before they start writing their literary analysis extended response. And then they'll start planning their draft. And then finally on Friday, we'll do grammar. So we'll kind of switch gears and do grammar. Um, a lot of our writing, if it's a longer draft, will still, the first draft, the rough draft, will still be on handwritten because there's a lot of research behind the connection between the brain and the hand, and handwriting. But then any subsequent drafts or shorter things will be typed. And one of the main reasons for that is because I can provide a ton of feedback if it's typed, and really useful, actionable feedback. And I can do it really quickly. I can look at 100 extended responses in an afternoon. Cannot look at 100 handwritten responses in an afternoon. I can't. It's much slower. So that's one thing that's really helpful. Okay, let's talk about Google Classroom a little bit and Chromebooks and stuff, since we have Chromebooks now. So, oh, I know exactly what happened. Okay, I kicked myself out of this video earlier, and I know how I did it now. Okay, so I have a master Google class that looks a little bit different than the one your students see, but the main thing is that your students are gonna, for the most part, I will have our Google Classroom will be organized by week. Okay, but there are times when a topic or a unit will be more applicable, and I'll do it that way. Here are Start Strongs, which are like a bell ringer that we do at the beginning of every class. All of them for the first quarter. Typically, if your student's absent, I don't ask that they make these up. They're very discussion based, and so if they're missing the discussion, they're not as useful. Okay, each class has additional resources. So one is my link to my YouTube channel. It is so useful. It has these videos, but it also has, like, anytime we do a new or unique assignment, like, or something that's not very self-explanatory, I've probably made a video. They should check for it. Day-by-day agendas. These agendas that I walk you guys through in the videos, and also that your students see at the beginning of every single class, these are online, and your students can now check them if they've been absent or if they're going to be absent. So they do not have to, they just come in when everyone else is doing their bell ringer, their Start Strong. They just check this, see what they've missed, and get the resources. Okay. Let's talk Membean and No Red Ink. So we are going to start Membean and No Red Ink this week. Yet today, which is actually Thursday that I'm making this video, we did our No Red Ink diagnostic. If your student didn't have their Chromebook, they just need to do that for homework. So hopefully they have done that tonight before you see this video. And No Red Ink is a free online grammar program that they will have to do work in on a regular basis. Membean is a online vocabulary program that does have a fee of $3 per year. You will go and just pay that online, and I did show all students how to take you through that step today. You will do that, like I said, online. Don't send in money. And if that fee is at all an issue, please just reach out. We're asking that students pay or tell us that the fee is an issue by Monday, the 12th, because we want to get started. We've already lost a month of school, which is no one's fault. But not a month of school. I want to clarify, a month of the training on Membean. I want to be very clear on that. So if you the issue is that on Membean, I cannot see if your child has paid or not. So if they haven't paid and they're not doing the training, I don't know why. I just think that they're not training. So just please ask for a scholarship by Monday, okay, the 12th. Okay. And if you have any questions at all, please just reach out. Let's see. Just a reminder that I do not grade in Google Classroom. I grade in Parent View, and I will always try my best to name the assignment in Google Classroom the same thing, or very, very similar to what it's named in Synergy, so that there's a lot of correlation. Okay. Just a reminder, too, that on the Chromebooks, it's a really good habit to get into and help your students get into this habit, please, of charging their Chromebook the second they get home, or as soon as their homework's done, or being able to do their homework near where it's charging. That would be a dream, but who knows how everybody's house is set up. And bringing it back every day. I don't think there's going to be a lot of loaners to give out. And if your student does need to borrow a Chromebook, they lose easily 7 to 10 minutes walking all the way down to the library, getting it, and coming back. That's a fifth of our class. Like we can't have them missing a fifth of our class just because they missed an assignment. They forgot their Chromebook. So probably what's going to happen if your student's Chromebook is not charged or not in the room, they're going to have to do the same work but on paper, and it's going to be harder. It's going to be different and not as easy. So please help them get into that habit. Okay. I think that I have run through everything, and so hopefully this video wasn't too long, and have a great day, and reach out if you have any questions. Okay, bye.